Greetings, seekers of truth, and a warm welcome to the morale. There is a tragedy that unfolds silently every single day in the hearts of millions of people. It is not a tragedy of disaster or war or sudden collapse. It is the tragedy of the unlived life. It is the quiet, suffocating realization that who you are right now is a pale shadow of who you could be. You feel it, don't you? That persistent, nagging sensation in the back of your mind that there is more for you. There is a business you haven't started, a book you haven't written, a body you haven't built, a level of freedom you haven't tasted. You have the ambition, you have the desire, but between your reality and your dream stands a thick, invisible fog. You wake up with good intentions, but the day gets away from you. You get busy, but you don't get productive. You spin your wheels in the mud of distraction, fear, and procrastination. And by the time your head hits the pillow, you realize, with a sinking heart, that today looked exactly like yesterday. And if you aren't careful, tomorrow will look exactly the same. This is not a lack of talent. It is not a lack of opportunity. It is a breakdown in the fundamental architecture of how you approach your time. Today, we are going to dismantle that breakdown. We are going to dive deep into the philosophy of Danny Lahr's masterpiece, Win Your Next Hour. We are stripping away the fiction and getting straight to the core of high-performance psychology. We are going to teach you how to stop looking at the mountain of your life and start conquering the only thing that actually exists, the next hour.
The first barrier you face is not external. It is not the economy, it is not your boss, it is not the market. The first barrier is the primitive architecture of your own brain, fear. When you think about stepping out of your comfort zone, launching that project, asking for that raise, changing your career, your brain screams. Why? Because historically, leaving the safety of the tribe or the cave meant death. Your brain is wired for survival, not for success. It perceives the unknown as a predator. Lahr identifies this as the wall of illusion. Most of us wait for fear to go away before we act. We say, "I will start when I feel confident." But this is the great lie. Confidence is not a prerequisite for action. Confidence is a result of action. The fear never vanishes while you are standing still. It only vanishes when you move. Think about the specific fears holding you back right now. Are you afraid of financial loss? Are you afraid of wasted effort? Or, if you are truly honest with yourself, are you afraid of judgment? The fear of what will people say is the most paralyzing force in modern society. We sacrifice our potential on the altar of other people's opinions, people whose names we won't even remember in 10 years. Lahr's philosophy demands a confrontation. You must realize that the people you are worried about are too busy worrying about their own lives to obsess over yours. The text offers a radical reframe. Fear is a compass. If you are afraid of doing something, it is usually a sign that you must do it. We don't fear things that don't matter. We don't fear mediocrity. We slip into it comfortably. We fear greatness. We fear exposure. So, when you feel that tightness in your chest, that resistance to starting a new venture, do not retreat. Lean in. That fear is indicating exactly where your growth lies. The moment you confront the monster, you realize it was a shadow puppet all along.
Let us move from psychology to tactics. Let us talk about the canvas upon which you paint your life, time. Time is the great equalizer. The billionaire and the beggar both have exactly 24 hours in a day. The difference in their outcomes is not luck, it is logistics. It is how they engineer those hours. Most people live in a state of reactive chaos. You wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone. You react to emails. You react to the news. You react to other people's demands. You are a leaf blowing in the wind of other people's agendas.
As Lahr writes, if you don't plan your day will control you. You need to shift from being a victim of time to being an architect of time. This begins with the morning protocol. You cannot afford to start your day by stumbling into it. Before the world wakes up, before the emails start flying, you must sit down with a simple notebook. Not a complex app, not a digital dashboard, a pen and paper. Write down the 3 critical missions for the day. Not a to-do list of 20 items, that is a recipe for anxiety. A success list of 3. If you only accomplished these 3 things, would the day be a win? Maybe it is write 500 words. Maybe it is call 3 potential clients. Maybe it is design the new website. Everything else is noise. By defining the target before the bullets start flying, you inoculate yourself against distraction. You give your brain a clear directive. When you sit down to work, you aren't thinking, what should I do? You are thinking, execution mode.
But planning is only half the battle. The other half is protection. We live in an age of weaponized distraction. Billion-dollar algorithms are designed to steal your attention and sell it to advertisers. If you're not careful, you will spend your life doom scrolling through the highlight reels of other people's lives instead of building your own. Lahr challenges us to audit our time leaks. Where does your time go? It goes into the 45 minutes of mindless Instagram scrolling. It goes into the quick chat that turns into a 1-hour gossip session. It goes into the multitasking myth. Let's address the multitasking myth. We wear busyness as a badge of honor. We think if we are answering emails, listening to a podcast, and eating lunch at the same time, we're being productive. Science and Lahr tells us the opposite. Multitasking is actually task switching. Every time you switch your focus from the deep work to the notification on your phone, you pay a cognitive tax. It takes minutes to get your focus back. If you do this 20 times a day, you're effectively operating with a fraction of your IQ. The solution is deep work, single tasking. When you are writing, you are only writing. The phone is in another room, the tabs are closed, the world does not exist. Lahr argues that 1 hour of deep, focused, uninterrupted work is worth 4 hours of distracted, fragmented work. If you want to win your next hour, you must defend it like a fortress. You must become unavailable to the world so you can become available to your purpose. Even with a plan and focus, we encounter the arch nemesis of human achievement, procrastination. We all know the feeling. You have a big task to do, it feels heavy, it feels overwhelming, so you say, I'll do it later. I'll do it when I feel ready. I'll do it on Monday. Procrastination is not laziness, it is emotional regulation. You're avoiding the task because the task makes you feel uncomfortable, inadequate, or anxious. You are prioritizing short-term mood repair over long-term achievement. To shatter this cycle, Lahr introduces the core concept of the book, the W.I.N. system. W.I.N. is an acronym. It stands for What's Important Now. This is the ultimate focusing question. When you find yourself overwhelmed by the mountain of tasks, when you feel the paralysis of analysis setting in, stop everything. Take a breath and ask, what is the single most important thing I can do right now, in this moment, to move the needle? Not 10 things, 1 thing. It might be open the document. It might be put on my running shoes. It might be dial the first digit of the phone number. The W.I.N. system forces you to shrink the horizon. You don't have to build the whole wall today. You don't have to write the whole book today. You just have to lay 1 brick. You just have to write 1 sentence. This psychology destroys procrastination because it lowers the barrier to entry. Writing a book is terrifying. Writing 1 paragraph right now is manageable.
And once you start, the friction disappears. Motion creates emotion. Action creates momentum.
Now, a warning. In the pursuit of success, there is a dangerous trap called burnout. We live in a hustle culture that glorifies exhaustion. We are told to grind, to sleep when we're dead, to work 18 hours a day. Lahr argues that this is not high performance, it is self-destruction. A race car driver does not win by keeping the engine in the red zone for the entire race. The engine will blow. They win by managing the RPMs. You must learn to increase productivity without burnout. This requires a shift from linear working to cyclical working. The human brain can only maintain peak focus for about 90 minutes. After that, returns diminish. You start making mistakes. Your creativity dips. Your willpower evaporates. Lahr advocates for strategic renewal. The pulse: work intensely for 60 to 90 minutes. Then, force yourself to stop. The break: step away from the screen. Do not scroll social media. That is not a break. That is just different input. A real break involves the body. Stretch, walk, drink water, look at the sky. The reset: listen to music, practice silence. This isn't slacking off. This is sharpening the axe. When you return to the work after a 10-minute active break, you are fresh. You are dangerous. You can sustain high output for 8 or 10 hours, not by force, but by rhythm. Furthermore, you must embrace the art of delegation. You cannot do everything. If you are trying to be the CEO, the janitor, the marketing manager, and the accountant, you will fail at all of them. You must ruthlessly identify the low-value tasks in your life and eliminate, automate, or delegate them. Your time has a dollar value. Do not spend $1,000 an hour energy on $10 an hour tasks.
Let's apply this to the impossible projects. Maybe you want to start an online business. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to change your body composition entirely. When you look at the sheer scale of these projects, you freeze. The gap between where you are and where you want to be seems unbridgeable. Lahr gives us the tool to bridge it, the 1-hour strategy. The concept is to break the mountain into stones. You do not focus on the outcome, you focus on the process. You commit to just 1 focused hour a day on your dream. I don't have time, you say. Lahr says you have time, you just don't have priority. If you wake up 1 hour earlier, or if you cut out the 1 hour of Netflix at night, you have your hour. Hour 1, research the market. Done. Hour 2, buy the domain name. Done. Hour 3, draft the first email. Done. It doesn't look like much in a day, but compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. 1 hour a day is 365 hours a year. That is 9 40-hour work weeks dedicated solely to your dream. Imagine what you could build with 9 full weeks of focused effort. You could write a novel. You could code an app. You could master a new skill. The 1-hour strategy removes the excuse of, "I'm too busy." Everyone can find 1 hour. And that 1 hour, repeated with religious consistency, will tear down mountains.
We must also talk about what you are doing in that hour. If you want to win in the modern world, hard work is not enough. You can dig ditches for 12 hours a day. That is hard work, but it will not make you wealthy. You need leverage. You need high-income skills. Lahr urges you to audit your skill set. The economy rewards value, not effort. Are you building skills that are rare and valuable? Or are you relying on skills that can be easily replaced or automated? In the current era, the skill stack is the ultimate currency. Digital marketing, copywriting, sales, coding, artificial intelligence, leadership, public speaking. If you feel stuck in your income,
It is likely because you have hit the ceiling of your current skill set. You are trying to squeeze more juice out of a dried-up orange. The solution is not to squeeze harder. It is to get a new orange. Dedicate your next hour to learning. Be a student. Swallow your pride. In the beginning, you will be bad at it. That is the price of entry. But if you spend 6 months mastering a high-income skill, you change your economic trajectory forever. Stop working just to earn, start working to learn. When you have the skills, the money follows.
Finally, we reach the edge of the map, the comfort zone. You can have the plan, the focus, and the skills, but if you stay safely within the boundaries of what you already know, you will stagnate. Growth is an act of expansion. Lahr calls this saying yes to new experiences. As adults, we tend to calcify. We find what we are good at, and we stay there. We avoid being a beginner. We avoid the awkwardness of the new. But your next level is hiding in the things you haven't done yet. When an opportunity knocks, a speaking gig, a new partnership, a leadership role, a travel opportunity, your default instinct might be, no, I'm not ready. It's too risky. The win your next hour philosophy demands a yes. You must become a collector of experiences. You must be willing to look foolish in the short term to become a master in the long term. Every time you say yes to something that scares you, you expand the perimeter of your reality. You find out that you are capable of more than you thought. You are not a statue carved in stone and fixed forever. You are a river. You are meant to move, to change, to adapt, to flow into new territories.
So here we stand. You have the blueprint. We have dismantled the illusion of fear. We have structured the chaos of the day. We have sharpened the blade of focus. We have armed you with the W.I.N system. We have taught you to rest strategically and learn voraciously. But a blueprint cannot build a house. Only you can do that. The book is called Win Your Next Hour for a reason. It is not win your life. Win your life is too big. It is too abstract. It paralyzes you. But win your next hour, that is right here, that is right now. Look at the clock. The next 60 minutes are a blank check. You can spend them scrolling, worrying, and hesitating. Or you can invest them. You can take one step. You can lay one brick. The past is a ghost. It cannot touch you. The future is a dream. It cannot save you. All you have is this hour. If you win this hour, and then the next, and then the next, the days will win themselves, the years will win themselves, and the life you have been dreaming of will stop being a dream and start being your reality. The clock is ticking. The choice is yours. Go win your next hour. This is the morale: seeking truth, finding strength, and mastering the self.